Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Spiritual Essence. And I thought I would tell you guys about my first ritual that I've done. Now, um, I did post a while back footage from my very first filmed ritual, but it was technically not a full ritual because I was actually showing people how to do a ritual, how I would do a ritual. And also, while that was my first filmed ritual, it wasn't my very first ritual. So I was kind of nervous about doing so because my dad, he's a devout Christian, and he is very apprehensive about anything magic, witchcraft, and what have you. He thinks that you'll summon something bad if you communicate with gods or do magic and blah 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 blah. Um, I was determined after doing a lot of research that he was wrong, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. But I kind of did a precautionary measure, like I created my own gods at the time, and I wanted to see if it would work. And I had been praying to them, but I hadn't done an actual ritual to them. And I didn't have much in terms of spiritual stuff, like all this behind me. You see my little knickknack shelf? I didn't have all this. I had, um, like one conch shell. I had an amethyst crystal, one quartz crystal, just some random candlesticks, and a blue geode, and some incense. That was it. I didn't have nearly the amount of spiritual stuff that I have now around me. And I did it down the basement. I didn't tell my parents. They were upstairs watching a movie, and I told them that I was going to be meditating downstairs. They had no problem with meditating, which technically wasn't a lie. But anyway, at the time, the basement was very messy. So I had to pull some totes because there were a lot of totes down there. I pulled three totes to use as an altar. I put one in front of me and two beside me, and I put a few items on each one. And then I lit the candles, shut off all the lights, and then in a very quiet voice, kind of like this, I was just trying to be very quiet so my parents wouldn't hear. And I attempted to make contact with the gods that I had created. And at first, all was quiet. Nothing was going on. And I'm like, maybe it's not working. So I called again. And then that's when I could feel. I could have sworn that my parents had come down the basement because I felt someone watching me. I felt like someone watching me. And the thing is, our staircase is very creaky, was very creaky. So if anyone had gone down the basement, well, one, they would have turned on the light, and that's how I would know they were coming down. And I would also hear them because the steps would go, no, they weren't there. And I checked, and I got up and I made sure, and they were still watching the movie in the living room. So I sat back down, and I could feel the people around me, like more than one person. I could feel them around me, like they were all there. And at that time, I had done enough prayer to where I feel like they did become something more than just energy thought forms. Like they suddenly had minds of their own. And I asked them, I said, provide blessings for me, help me get through high school because I was still in high school at the time. It was in my junior year that I started this, and I could feel them all around me. And then after the ritual was done, I said, I hereby conclude this ritual. I thank you for coming. and then I blew out the candles as one final offering, and all of a sudden that feeling like everyone was around me dissipated. I could feel that they all left. And I was like, wow, I actually felt something. And not only that, during the ritual, I could feel this electrical feeling, this electrical vibration, like the energy was starting to reach a high vibration. I didn't exactly know how to describe it at the time or what it was, but now I do. And it was my energy vibrating at a higher frequency. And I haven't prayed to those gods in so long. I kind of feel bad. I just recently started praying to one of them again. And um, over the pandemic, I redrew and rewrote their names. I redrew who they were because originally in high school, there was a class where if you finished your work early, you could go on the internet. So I went on Microsoft Paint and I drew many different kinds of gods, and I made up their names and what they did, and I saved them to my OneDrive. And for a while, that's all they were. So now I've redrawn a lot of them, and I'm working on their backstory. I didn't get that far, and I haven't drawn all of them yet. In fact, I've added some, and I've cut out others, or I changed some. So slowly that's coming about, but I am just starting to pray to them again, because I started praying to other gods like the Egyptian goddess Isis, the Welsh goddess Rhiannon, and so on. And these gods that I had a connection with, I started praying to them and communicating with them. And so I didn't really need to go to these ones that I created as much, because I felt more comfortable communicating with these other ones. So that was what my first ritual was like. I was a bit nervous, but I was also eager to try it, and it was a success. And I've just kept learning more and more as I continue to do rituals, and I do intend to make them, to bring back the ones I created again, and I will also show you guys exactly who they are once I get at least some of their backstory down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and I'll see you later.